fire up the phone. First phone picks up. Hey, it's Darren here. Oh, here we
How
go,
are you,
man.
mate?
And I'm sure he knew exactly who I was. But anyway, called him, and I was just being real, like, respectful. I was just like, hey, man, I just want to know the numbers. Like, you know, essentially you're a government employee. You work for the people. Tell me the cost.
All right. Well, listen, mate, thanks for coming on.
Easy.
Do you want to just tell us who you are, what you do, bit of background?
Yeah, man, sweet. So my name's David. I'm currently running Rapid QS. We're operating in New Zealand, Australia, and the UK. So we do like pricing and estimating for builders and contractors.
Yeah.
Man, I just came up through the ranks, trenches, building apprenticeship, did all my time, residential building like Wanganui, Palmerston North, moved down to Queenstown, got involved with like the commercial space there. My main big first lot of work was doing subcontracting to Dominion.
Yeah, okay.
Me and a mate had our own company, and we were doing the big Kmart build down there. So we were building precast panels, and that was horrible.
I've done a Kmart.
Yeah, it was tough, but it was my first real taste of like commercial deadlines. And there's just like, they don't give a fuck what time of the day it is. They don't care who you are. They'll say everything they need to say to get what they need out of you, which is just panels delivered by a date. And if you can't do it, they'll just fuck you off and get someone else. So, yeah, ruthless experience. But we were quite lucky at that time. There was a huge shortage of guys down there.
Yeah.
The boom was massive. And me and my mate Jake, we were like the only kind of Kiwi kids down there. And Queenstown was just full of backpackers at that stage.
Yeah.
And then my mate Jake had his LBP, so they loved us. And I essentially just looked after all the like upcoming work, dealing with the managers at Dominion.
So you were project managing at that stage?
We had 8 guys working for us, and it was like me and Jake went 50-50 in a business, and we were just literally there just to build panels. So we set up a precast bed. But we saved Dominion so much money because we kind of like set up the bed, came up with the idea to, you know, have it 600 off the ground, form ply baseboards around the bottom, put some fucking gas heaters in there, get these panels. Well, we were doing 4 panels in 36 hours.
Or just speed the process up.
Yeah, otherwise they had to go to Cromwell.
Yeah.
I think it was like Belcrom, and they were going to, like, their transport fee for panels was going to be like, I don't know, 50,000 a week or something. Huge. Yeah. So I know on Block A alone, like 60 panels, I'm pretty sure we saved them over 150K. Okay. So they kind of loved us there. So we had a little bit of wiggle room on like somewhat negotiating.
Yeah.
Anyway, we were essentially just on charge up for 18 months. We kind of cleaned house, made a shitload of money. And then, we just got finessed into putting in a fixed price for Block C. We got about 20% into the block, and we were like, fuck, man, why are our expenses like 4 times as much as what's coming in?
Yeah.
So,
we fucked up here, lads.
We were like talking, we went and had a beer with like the younger project manager guy who we thought was like our mate. And we were like, bro, is there any way you can like get us out of this contract? And we very quickly realized how much he wasn't our mate. Because he was probably cut in on the deal a little bit as well from Dominion. So anyway, that's just commercial construction, mate. Bro. So mate,
in that first lockdown, I was doing Constellation Bus Station.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, we went into the full lockdown, first one, global pandemic. I was getting bloody penalty notices off the construction company because the switchboard wasn't installed.
Can you say who the company was?
I can.
Yeah.
Who
we
was
can cut it out, but it's just, I love knowing that shit, eh?
Who was it? The name is gone.
If it comes to you, let me know. Anyway.
Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, what the fuck, man?
Wild,
with that rigid program shit. You know what I mean?
It's horrible, man. So like that for me was good, but that's kind of what sparked.
Brosnan.
What's that?
Brosnan.
Yeah, mine was Dominion. But man, Brosnan actually were fucking good to me. They offered me a mean gig down there when I was doing prior to Dominion. I went through a recruitment company. Those Bishop boys, those are the ones that racked up a massive debt.
Yeah.
Spencer was actually good to me at the time because he knew, I kind of helped find more backpackers, get guys on the ground. This is when I first went to Queenstown. Yeah. It was mean though. I had a mean time down there. Anyway, Brosnan were awesome to me, offered me a full-time job. But then my mate Jake, I got him down through Spencer. Spencer didn't pay my mate Jake. And I was like, bro, you better pay my mate Jake. He's a Golden Gloves boxer. Like, I don't want to have any issues, whatever.
He's pretty good at debt collection.
Yeah, they didn't pay my mate Jake. And then Jake was like, got offered this contract. He was on the piss one out in Queenstown. Met Jason, the crazy project manager for Dominion. Hey, do you want to build these fucking panels? Rah, rah, rah. Jake hit me up. Hey, bro, you want to come do this? Yep, fucked off that. Yep. Whatever. Anyway, good real taste of commercial construction. Yes, you can make a lot of money. no relationships, I find, and they just do not give a shit about timelines.
Totally price driven.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally price driven.
So Block C, we it was like a $200,000 contract. I think we got about $40,000 of the way in, realized our bills were already like 65 grand. So we're like, shit. Closed up shop. Me and Jake split. He moved back up to Wanganui. I stayed down in Queenstown. He took all the vehicles and assets and took the loss of 20K.
Yeah.
25K. I just walked away with nothing. Clean slate. Me and Jake are still mates to this day. He's renovating my house in Wanganui. So that was all I cared about, man. I've done like 3 business partnerships now, 2 to building ones, 1 QSing. I can hand over my heart, still say I can call all those guys today. Yeah. Have a chat with them.
I'm the same with my ex-business partner. Like he's just called me. Sick. We catch up all the time. Best mates.
Best thing, I think it's the best thing you can do. Like for the sake of 20 grand to not call someone that you... Fuck, me and that guy did 23-hour shifts about 6 times. Like,
you get pretty tight.
Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. We were going home at 4 a.m. and back on site at 5:30. We lived off Macca's.
So like just in that journey, where did you start pricing? How did you learn it?
Yeah, man, for sure. So after that, went to like resi stuff, and because every builder was building high-end architecturals at fucking $5,500 a square, there were no builders left doing maintenance.
Yeah.
So I just door knocked every hotel, every property management company in Queenstown, and I was fortunate enough to did like 1 bathroom renovation for a hotel Indian guy. Best Indian client I've ever had, man, and you don't get many. So he was fantastic. Anyway, 1 bathroom, and then ended up doing 25 for him in his hotel.
Yeah.
He offered me work in Auckland, and I was flying between Auckland and Queenstown for about 18 months. Had like a team of 10 backpackers on charge up in Queenstown throughout like Brosnan, Dominion, and Naylor Love sites. Yeah. So I was making good money there, like turning over like 30 grand a week, 35K a week, not profit revenue, because everyone fucking loves this shit. And then Auckland was good. That's when I kind of started, I just went hard on Ray White. So Ray White Manukau was my first big pitch, and I remember at my I was just doing maintenance work, but man, I knew nothing about pricing. I was my flat fee to them was $50 an hour, 10% on materials, no vehicle charge, nothing, and I got up to like 50 to 60 jobs to do at any one time, and my average invoice job was like $100 or something, and I was losing so much
and then you
money.
Look at your non-billable time, your efficiency,
now
all the bills you've got to pay.
So anyway, got there, but pricing, I really, really got honed in on pricing when I left Queenstown. I was in Auckland full time, and I remember specifically my twin brother's a plumber and gas fitter. He was helping me fit out a bathroom in Meadowbank. I'd priced this bathroom, cosmetic kind of renovation, 6.5 grand, and I lost 2 grand on it. And I was like, what the fuck happened here?
So it made you dig in.
But that's when I was just doing 4 line item zero quotes, labor, materials, subs, P&Gs. And I was like, nah, man, something's not adding up. So I don't know what I did. I didn't see anything online or anything. I just started putting every single cost into a spreadsheet, like labor, site visit, like how much time is it going to cost me to leave my house in Remmers, drive to Meadowbank, just down the road, come back home, price it, put that in, 1.5 hours, I'm worth $70 an hour at that time. Boom, there we go. What's my first thing when I get on site? Organize materials, chat with client, or set up the builder. 1.5 hours, $70 an hour. Go through, step it out job by job. Demolition, remove shower, remove vanity, remove heated towel rail, remove tiles, put rubbish in skip. That takes fucking time.
It's the breakdown, right? Because I come across it all the time where I'm like, how do you price the job? And they're like, oh, well, I sort of guess how long it's going to take me and then sort of work out the materials. And I'm like, that isn't a system. You need to know exactly what gear you're going to put into that job, and you need to associate per item how long it's going to take you. You know what I mean? Yeah, for sure.
So my thing, like, I just really, really, really wanted to dig into these jobs and find out every single line item that I could put into this job. And yes, at that time, I was probably coming in like 30% higher than any other builder. But when the client was seeing a fucking 45 line item breakdown for a $20,000 job, they were like, Jesus,
this is super detailed.
And they were just like, for me, it was just the cost was the cost. And the only things they could budge on was margin or the amount of hours. And I was like, that's not too bad. Like, versus sending a 4 line item quote of 20 grand, they were like, well, what is this made up of?
What does it mean?
As soon as I figured that out, my win rate of projects went from like 30% to like 60. And this was at the time when Auckland was kind of really, really busy. I think this must have been like
21?
2018 to 2021, pre-COVID. That's when we were absolutely creaming it on maintenance work. So my best value jobs were like under 50K. And that's where I was getting like 30-40% margins on jobs. For sure. And I just got super efficient at the process of initial inquiry, so digital marketing, creating leads to like a generated audience, specific audience, calling them up within fucking like as quick as Uber. Like I just wanted to be like, I was just on Gmail 24/7, man.
Just mega response times on
refresh. Call, detailed pricing, get photos off client, detailed pricing, follow up 24 hours later. Boom. That was my system for like 3 years. And I remember I just remember in the first weekend we launched like this digital marketing ad. It was just me standing at my mate's house saying what services we offer. And we put $1,000 ad spend on it on Facebook like in 2017. And I got like 45 leads. And me and Mike were literally sitting, shout out Mike, he's in Thailand now, best dude ever, the lead guy, best trade lead guy ever. We were just sitting there getting dopamine hit after dopamine hit. Like we would sit there Saturday night, 7 p.m. watching TV, lead come in, call them straight away. And people are like, these guys are like, what the fuck are you doing?
You guys selling drugs?
On the side. Yeah, we'll fix your dick. And so, so like, I just like exhausted that process for like 3 years. So it's kind of just ingrained in me now. And I'm not sitting here saying I'm the world's best builder. That was not my forte. I could still build and do maintenance shit and still build decks and do all that stuff. But there were so many builders that didn't want to deal with all that shit. I just got an absolute kick off a day. And it was a dopamine hit getting the accepted email. And turning a...
You preach into the choir, mate. I'm a terrible electrician. But I loved quoting, winning jobs, selling, winning new clients and stuff. And managing the guys, stuff like that. Actual electrical work, not really my jam.
But there's, my twin brother, for example, he's a plumber and gas fitter. He wants to do nothing else except go to work, plug in, listen to crypto or UFC reviews, and just plumb. And he's a mean plumber. And he doesn't want to talk to anyone.
Nah, some guys love the tools and that's cool, you know what I mean? But we're all different, right?
I think I remember one Instagram video I did, it was like, there's kind of like 3 pillars within construction and it's like finding your lane. And mine is definitely like the sales and negotiating. Then you've got the guys that just want to work and don't deal with anything. And then you've got the guys that love chaos and they want to organize subbies, they want to organize builders, they want to be the big dick on site. They want to fucking order everyone around, shift it, like find your lane, man, and just like double down.
I totally agree. Because coming back to it, obviously, I was saying before, the way I found you is, I've said it on this before, but I'm constantly getting hit up to help price jobs or price jobs for people. And I was like, is nobody doing this? And then, one of our members pointed me in your direction. I was like, thank fuck, somebody's actually doing it.
No, it's been good. Like, it's been a cool evolution of just finding a skill and finding something that I'm good at, finding a way to like advertise it, promote it, make it kind of fun and interesting as best I can, and then just showcasing my skills through like not direct sales. Like all I'm doing is just putting out what I'm good at, like becoming a thought leader in my space, and I'm not even like at the top of the food chain.
That's what makes people dig into your content and figure out what you're doing. I was the same. I went down a bit of a rabbit hole. I was like, what's this guy all about? And that was another reason I asked you to come on, because I was really interested in the other side of what you're doing, which is kind of whistleblowing people who are fucking around with pricing, and particularly the councils.
Love it, eh?
So what have you had, like, obviously you've got them at them a little bit to expose the bloated pricing. Have they come back to you at all?
Nah, and I've said to everyone, like, I'm just waiting for them to, and this is how I see it, like, I'm just putting my opinion out there. And if I can ruffle some feathers, I'm just literally, if these guys are right and they're better than me, just come back and prove me wrong.
Tell me.
Show me the sheets. Just show me your prices.
It's pretty telling that you've had no response.
It's wild, man. I really want to hone in on it, but I'm kind of getting to the point where it's like, well, I can just keep doing this and keep roasting you guys, but this one guy, Darren Toy, bro, biggest pussy I've ever met. If I was in my 40s and I saw some young 30-year-old guy ripping into me on TikTok and Instagram, I'd be making it my absolute vendetta to get back at this dude.
Yeah, go and shut him down. And
I called him the other day and Brendan edited a sick video. I was just point blank.
I think I saw it. I saw the beginning of it. Yeah.
I was just point blank asking him, hey man, do you know the cost of this? He's like, oh, I can't comment on that right now.
And who is this guy?
Apparently, like, the cool thing now about with a little bit of an audience is I'm just getting sent so much information from the public, which is wicked. So I had no clue who was in charge of this project, and apparently he was the construction manager for this project.
Yeah.
Anyway, I kept calling Kāinga, get put on hold. Oh, we'll try to get through to him. Nothing. Sent him an email like every day for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then I kept screenshotting it, putting it on Instagram, making a poll. Will Darren reply? All this shit. Never replied. And then someone on TikTok said, you owe me a beer. I've got his personal number here. Boom.
Oh, shit.
Let's go, baby. Dialed, told Brendan, fire up the phone. First phone picks up. Hey, it's Darren here. Oh, here we
How
go,
are you,
man.
mate?
And I'm sure he knew exactly who I was. But anyway, called him, and I was just being real, like, respectful. I was just like, hey, man, I just want to know the numbers. Like, you know, essentially you're a government employee. You work for the people. Tell me the cost. And he didn't want to give the cost. And I said to him, I said, Darren, all I need is a ballpark figure. Just tell me what it costs. Like, I'm building a house right now, and I roughly know it cost me $384,752, man.
Yeah.
Tell me whether it's $450 or $250. That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
And when he said, I couldn't do it 4 times, and we put up the tally counter 1, 2, I was just like, you're a pussy, man.
Yeah.
Just give me the numbers.
Peddling like a politician.
Yeah. So 630 grand for these container homes, absolute joke. Like, I've already priced some of these jobs, and they're trying to say that the earthworks were the biggest cost. Don't fucking give me that shit. Yeah. I've paid for a geotech in Wanganui. He's $1,900.
Funny story with Kāinga. I did a big job for him a few years back. I think it was a 45 apartment project over 3 blocks. First one I'd priced for Kāinga. Anyway, they sent me a schedule of materials telling me what I'd sell them product at.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I ain't doing that. Yeah. So I just priced it with all my own products back, won it. And in the contract or the subcontractor agreement, it said in there will be absolutely no variations on this project. So I think we started out and it was maybe a 400 or 500 grand project. And we did $200,000 worth of variations on them. Point being, it seems like nobody knows what's going on over there. You know what I mean?
It's just hard. Like, I don't know. Like, I can't sit here and say I know their, like, because I don't know their process inside and out. But I just can't. Like, you would think that it's with all the red tape and building processes and systems and sign-offs that it would be super transparent, but it just seems like they're getting away with
it's all fucking smoke and mirrors. And our industry's full of it, and I'm always trying to myth bust this shit, which is why I appreciate what you're trying to do as well.
It's just so bad. Like, I went on Duncan Garnier's podcast last week, and he actually asked me a question. He's like, so you're actually helping the consumer make more money or save money? I was just like, damn, this is kind of going against our audience because I want builders to make more money to the consumer. But when I rephrased that question, I was like, man, we actually are helping the consumer save money and the builder make more money, because the average consumer could be getting absolutely fleeced by these top builders. Okay, let's just say Kāinga Ora. They're just fleecing everyone. But we're actually coming in with like transparent pricing, the builder to make enough money so they can run a profitable business. Because if they're not profitable, they're not even going to be there to do your work.
Exactly.
And if builders don't make money, we've got no one to build shit, and the homeowner can't do their fucking project.
But transparency is the key, and obviously it's a bit of an idealism. But if we can put transparency back into the construction industry, build that trust with the consumers again, everyone can charge a fair price. Nobody's undercutting, you know, all this kind of thing. And it's just going to make our industry stronger going forward. You know what I mean? The other thing I was going to ask you is so obviously you're essentially taking the dog work out of pricing jobs for builders, plumbers, sparkies, What's driving your sales? Why are people coming to you rather than pricing it themselves?
Man, a few points. Good question. I think like when I remember I was tendering for some townhouses, like second year of business in Auckland, and I was doing a job for Classic Developments, reached out to a QS in Christchurch, and they didn't get back to me for like 2 weeks. And I was like, what's going on here? Like, I was like, man, I'm just a builder. I just want to get a price. Like, you're running a service. And this is when I was peak time of calling leads within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. So I'm a service-based business owner. I'm calling clients back as quick as I can. And then I'm trying to hire this service and they won't even call me back. So I was like, what is going on? So one thing I was just like speed. So the first thing when I created my Facebook page was no more 4-week bullshit turnaround times. And I was like, I think tradies will like that because they'll be like, okay, cool. Like this guy's going to get back to us and he'll turn the job around. And then I think transparency, like the second thing when I was doing my building stuff, I never knew how much to charge. Like when I first started doing work for Ray White, it was $50 an hour. And I had no clue that Hire a Hubby was charging $120. Holy shit, man.
Well, nobody tells you that shit unless you go and find out or ask them, you know.
I didn't know. So then the second thing is when we started building our social media platform is I just wanted to let people know what the rough charges were. Like, and now I get so many young guys or anyone, older guys, like whoever. How much should we be charging for this? Are we on par with this? I've got so much work at the moment. What should I be doing? Put your prices up. If you've got no work, drop your prices a little bit. Do what you can do to get through your slow period. Then when you're busy again, you can start putting your prices up.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. And also our mindset at Rapid QS is I don't want to be seen to be overcharging people. I just want to make 20% margin on 1,000 jobs rather than 200% margin on 10 jobs.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to fleece people. I want people to be like, we'll
fair
pay them.
service for a fair price.
That's exactly it, man. I would way rather have a 90 to 95% return of value, like return of customer rate, than this guy's like, oh, Jesus, we overpaid for this guy. I'm not going to go back to him. So, yeah. Yeah,
because what I'm interested in is if it's the same for you, particularly in the construction kind of space. Mine's like when people come to me for help quoting, a lot of it's time driven. They don't have time to do it. But a lot of it is because they don't know how to do it or they're not confident. Are you finding that with builders and stuff too?
I'd say 70-30 time versus skill. Every builder out there is a better pricer than me. Every builder out there in New Zealand knows their business better than me. Okay. Tenfold. Yeah. They don't know. I don't know how to price better than them for their own business. They know they know how fast their boys are. They know who their quick guys are, their slow guys are. They know what their rep charges them to deliver a door at last minute notice. I don't know that shit. Yeah. I think it's more the time. I'd say 80-20, 80% time. So this builder just before said, hey man, I'm the in-house QS. I've just had 3 sets of plans come across the desk. They kind of want tenders closing by next Friday. Yeah. I need help. And I was like, cool, man. And I said to him, this is what you should be doing. Like, you should be using an external contract QS. If you've got an in-house QS paying them $100,000 a year, respectfully, fire them. Use us as a contract QS.
Because you're only paying for what you're doing then, aren't you?
It's contract price. And you, as the QS director of the business, you only deal with the jobs that get accepted from the 85% what we do. Yeah. So if I quote 3 jobs for you, one of your clients comes back and says, 1 out of the 3 comes back and says, cool, happy to go ahead. What's the next step? Hey, mate, next step is I just need to charge a $2,000 buyer commitment fee, cover the QS, and then you've got a locked-in job. Yes, you've still spent $2,000 and $2,000 on the other QS reports, but you've just invested $6,000 to secure a $1 million new build.
Yeah, but if you claim back $2,000 of that as well, as you're saying, it's a hell of a lot cheaper than that $100,000 a year, isn't it?
That's it, man. So the way I look at it is like if we're pricing, and prime example, this one guy, Gus in Christchurch, absolute G, man. He's been with us, me and the lead guy, for 2 years, and he was just doing maybe, I don't know, $40,000 a month of bathrooms and decks and all that shit. Last 18 months, we've quoted 6.5 mil worth of work, and he secured 2.1, so 31%, something like that. Yep. Creaming it, bro. And now, like, he invests $50,000 in a year into advertising and leads, $50,000 a year to me to do all his pricing full time. Yeah. And so $100,000 a year to turn over 2.2 at 30% profit.
That'll be getting him a lot further than what he was doing.
Man, I was like, you show me how those numbers aren't good. Yeah. Like $100,000 investment to potentially make 400 to 500, and he's not doing any lead generation or any pricing.
It adds up, doesn't it?
It's just a system, man. Yeah. But it just takes balls to do that kind of stuff.
So I think with builders, where are they learning to price? Are they starting off as a builder on the tools, then going into the office as a project manager, then getting into pricing, or how?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, man. Like in BCITO and our apprenticeship things, there's no schedules, modules, no training packs on pricing, how to claim GST, how to charge for variation.
Don't mention finance.
No, nothing. So, yeah, nothing, man. I think there might be 2 ways. I first start learning pricing just by... Well, I just wanted to make a heap of money, man.
Yeah, but you're definitely the type of person who'll just run at something and figure it out. You know what I mean?
And I think I just learned 10 times faster because it was my own money on the table. Yeah. I was like, oh, damn, I don't like losing money. No one likes losing money, man. I think they, tender for their own project. Maybe they're working for their boss and their boss gives them an opportunity to start like tailoring up some quotes. Hey, mate, this little bathroom job's come in. Do you want to take half a day off? And here's roughly how we charge in our company. Yeah. That's a good way for like foremans to get going, or, 4th-year apprentices, guys that have just been qualified. Maybe they can start doing some pricing. But good question, man. I don't know where anyone's...
Because that was my path. I went, like foreman, project manager for a site, and then the big site that I was looking after had existing houses and stuff on it as well, so I'd start pricing the little jobs, and then from there into pricing projects. But you've done the project management side as well, so you've got an understanding.
Yeah.
But in our industry, the issue is you've got great electricians, don't get me wrong, on the tools, and they just go and start a business. They don't even know what GST is. They've never priced a job. They don't know what people charge. So I think in New Zealand, I think the entry bar to set up a business is too low. I think you should have to do some kind of foundation business course. I think that should be built into the cost of setting up a business, just to filter out some of the shit.
Yeah,
you know,
it's it's good and bad, and maybe that's part of a good time of having like somewhat a quiet period now, because it will filter out a lot of the people that aren't good operators.
Clear the deadwood out, right?
We've just had such a good period for a long time. Like, and I'm not going to sit here and say, oh yeah, man, I just got it when it was creaming. Like, I was still doing baker's builds when it was starting to like really, really drop off, and I was only winning maybe 4 out of 20 jobs. Yeah, so it was getting hard. Yeah, definitely getting hard. But I don't know. I think it's good for everyone to go through some tough shit. But
so like my last year of business, like we did really well that year. But to make that happen, I think I'd price something in the region of, well, me and my business partner. I think we'd price like $13-14 million worth of work for that year just to win what we won. You know what I mean?
Do you know what you won?
Probably 1.5.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So the percentages aren't good,
win rate.
but we had to do it. You know what I mean. Yeah. And that was also a bit of a learning curve for me on really cherry picking out of the bigger commercial jobs or the larger jobs what I would go for, and doing as much due diligence digging as I can to find out who's actually pricing it. Because if you're going up against big boys, you cannot match their pricing because they're just buying shit way cheaper than you. You know
Correct,
what I mean?
Man. I agree.
Yeah, fucking interesting. So what's next on the cards for you? Because you've also got the podcast, which is starting to take off. So
man, just enjoying the journey. Like at the moment, we're going through like a bit of a full internal restructure of how we're just running the operations of the business. So like my Australian business partner of that is helping set up the same kind of structure in New Zealand and the UK.
Yeah.
At the moment, man, like the goal for the next 2 years is we've got some pretty hefty targets we want to hit across New Zealand, Australia, and the UK. So for me, man, it's purely just a heap of travel. I want to do another 50 to 60 podcasts in the next like 18 months, I'd say.
Yeah.
Traveling podcasts, go meet guys, be seen on site. We're just trying to eliminate our competition by being seen on site with guys, talking the day-to-day. I want to build the best transparent QSing platform that we can for builders.
Awesome.
I would love to do a shitload more work on our newsletter and put more stuff out there. It's just time at the moment. Podcasts are good. The business is good. I play a shitload of tennis. I love tennis.
Cool. You married? You got kids?
I got a partner. No kids yet, but I definitely want to hit that in the next probably 2 to 3 years. But I want to get it going. I'm very close to my twin brother, and he's about to have his first baby this week.
Oh, so you want him a similar?
I kind of want to play the 30 to 40 year time frame.
Obviously, I'm just digging into you personally a bit here, but like, how do you deal with all the travel? Busy lifestyle running the business, like does that put stress on your relationship? How's all that side of it?
Yeah, it's definitely hard. I personally love chaos, so I love being busy. I get cabin fever super quick. Partner's awesome, man. She's super supportive of the whole thing. So
if she believes in it, helps, right?
Yeah, she loves it. So she's quit her job and she finishes up in 2 weeks. She'll come to the UK with me at the end of next month, and then we'll be based. What I want to do is be based in the middle of the world for the next 18 months, purely so I can get to either New Zealand or the UK within 9 hours. That's kind of my thing. Overnight flight, wake up in a new place. The podcasts are definitely the most, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, they are draining. Running your own podcast is draining. The Australian 2-week one we've done, I've probably done it 5 times now.
Is this just going around having all the conversations?
Man, it's like last one we did, end of March, flew back from the UK, and overnight, next day, and then I think we did 6 episodes in 5 days.
Oh yeah,
and then that's tiring, man, because they're not sitting down in a studio. It's like rocking up to site, first time client, setting up obviously all the camera stuff, whatever. It's just draining. And then every time you get off a podcast back in the car, you're like cleaning out your inbox, replying to missed calls, doing as much as you can,
trying to keep up with the general day today.
I flew back to Auckland like 1 a.m. on a Friday night. I think I woke up at like 2 p.m. the next day, went out for food, went for like a light cardio, whatever, went back home, 6 p.m. sleeping, like 16 hours sleep. Yeah. So it's hard, but I want to look back when I'm like 50 or 60 and be like, fuck, I went balls to the wall.
Did the fucking hard yards. Yeah, man. Now you're sitting pretty,
Try to, man. So, and I think whenever you've got like a good opportunity for any builder, like even a young guy that's got an opportunity to run a project for his boss,
Yeah.
Fucking take it on the chin, man.
Oh,
and
totally.
and don't sit there and think, oh shit, I need more money. I should be getting just
do the job first, prove yourself, and then ask for the
don't ask
reward.
For more money. Just sit there and be like, because eventually, if you keep doing good things and performing, you'll get what you're owed.
I think one thing for them, for the younger guys who've maybe got these opportunities as well, like the opportunity to get that experience is like worth so much more than the extra fucking $1 an hour you're going to get or whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah. And you've just got to fake it until you make it.
Yeah, prime example here. We've so for the UK stuff, we went over there. Me and Brendan went over. We launched, went over there, shot some TikToks, did a funny one outside Big Ben and all this shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, our stats are real funny. So we've generated like 250 leads. It's maybe cost $2,000.
Yeah.
We've closed like 35 jobs, but worked for 10 clients, I think. So the funny thing is the first lot of jobs I was doing work for, we were charging like £90 to do a job, but. So my reason for doing that was obviously foot in the door. I've got no
promotional rate.
I've got no clout. I've got no experience, no reputation in the UK.
Yeah.
So one client, we did a job for £90, turned it around in like 6 hours. Small little foundation job. I did it. I mean, in New Zealand, shit, that would take me maybe 20 minutes. This one took me 3 hours.
Because you're trying to get to grips with the UK market.
But now that guy's put £2,500 for us.
Yeah.
And he's given me 3 jobs a week.
Yeah.
So just little things like that. Didn't want to try and ream up front, ask for more money up front. I was like, I'll just do cheap, get in the door. But that's what I did with Ray White and Manukau back in the early days. $50 an hour plus just no fucking vehicle charge, no materials on shit.
Yeah.
Making no money. But I remember, I'm pretty sure we must have tuned out maybe 50 or 70K worth of maintenance work in maybe 2 years.
Yep.
But my metrics there were, if I do every 20 jobs that I did for them, I'd get offered to quote a $30,000 or $40,000 bathroom or kitchen.
Yeah, so it'd pay for itself with like the big projects coming off the back of it.
I never turned down a small job, man. Yeah. Never, ever, ever turned down a small job. Ever. Never do it.
No. I hear a lot of people say that, like particularly, you know, it's quite tough out there at the minute. And a lot of the local sparkies, I'm like, how do you keep busy? How did you build your reputation? Like, I never turn down a job in my area.
Yeah, you can't do it. It's I just think even if you're only charging $100 or $150, just treat it like it's a $100,000 job, man. Call them back fast, be presentable, turn up, do the job real well, walk them through it, ask for a Google review, and just say, thanks so much, appreciate your business. Like,
100%.
So, yeah.
Cool, man. I think last thing, have you got any advice for people out there, like young business owners? Yeah. Any advice from you being a business owner yourself, or pricing, or whatever you got? Yeah,
mate. I think right now it's kind of hard. Obviously, the market's a little bit tough. I think it's about to turn in the next 3 months. And did yesterday's OCR just drop?
Yeah, another 0.25.
I think it's positive. I would try and I feel like now there's no excuses to kind of not win or to be failing, because there's so much free shit out there.
Yeah.
And I would use as many professionals as you can. Like, if you're trying to be a mean business owner, invest into like becoming a better business owner. Go find someone like the Professional Builder have done wonders for me. They're so good.
So educate yourself.
Educate yourself. Learn. Jump on YouTube. Quit social media apps, stop getting on the piss, and just like learn as much stuff as you can. So many people probably still, I don't know, rocking up to the pub 4 nights a week. Like, cut that shit out. Or leave that shit for
the weekend.
I'm just like, honestly, man, I feel like there's no real solid advice. I just think if you want to go and get better, it's called YouTube, man. I have not paid. I'm pretty bad. I haven't paid for a cent of education in a while, but my YouTube search history is wild. Like anything I want to learn, YouTube and ChatGPT, man, and you can get answers like off the cuff.
It's unbelievable. Like when I was a kid, you had to go and pick out Encyclopedia Britannica. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, actually go drive to the library and find books and stuff. So no excuses to not win now. And I think the funny thing is when I think the market is about to turn, and we'll soon see who are the guys that have been sticking it out through the tough time. And those guys on the back end of this are going to be fucking booming.
Cool, because you know they're running a tight ship if they've got through it. So,
absolutely. And it will probably take like 6 to 12 months for all the cowboys to come back into the market. So they can cream it and have a good reputation in the first front end of a busy market. So,
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, man.
In the meantime, if people want to get hold of you, How do they do that?
Instagram, man, RapidQS, or email me, david@rapidqs.com. We aim to email everyone back within half an hour, quotes within 4 hours. That's kind of our business model, man. So,
and your podcast is just called RapidQS?
Insider Chat. Just go
YouTube,
RapidQS. We've got heaps of stuff on there. And our first 20 episodes were just, guys that have been in business for more than 20 years.
Yep.
Our next 20 episodes are kind of on site, talking more about details, cost blowouts on jobs, where builders made money, lost money. So
you actually have a plan of what you're going to do on your podcast?
Roughly. We're still off the cuff, bro. We're still shooting shit. But I felt like we'd done really well on talking to the guys at the top end of the industry and the guys that have been in business for 20 plus years.
Yep.
And then I was like, let's focus more on, and this is purely me on YouTube looking at like Grand Designs video. And I thought, fuck, 500,000 views. I was like, I want to get some of that.
Yeah.
So, we just went and next style was builders where jobs were either finished or in construction or about to start.
Yeah.
And we wanted to talk about each process for each job. So that's what we did.
Nice.
Yeah. So I think we must be 10 or 15 through. We'll do 5 more, reevaluate, see what everything's happening, see what's going on in the market. And then I'd love to do fair go style next 10. Target these council guys, roll around with some full-time security. So any big boys over 100 kegs out there want to roll around, that'd be cool.
Well, I'll be watching that. That sounds bloody interesting.
I think that's what we want to do. So, appreciate it, man.
Cool. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks very much, bro. Awesome.
Cheers.